If you can't play as good or as fast as me, just give up. Sell your guitar on eBay and kill yourself. Music is a communication. It's a two-way street. You need people to play to in order to make that connection complete. That's the way we look at it. Songs like "Spirit Carries On" really gets the audience moved and on the same page. It's challenging and all so much fun to play. If I'm not in an environment where I can record, it's great to be able to write something down, to be able to know how to do that, to be able to write notation. You grab a piece of paper and there it is. It's the cheapest recording equipment you can buy. A piece of manuscript paper and a pencil. If someone is feeling out of sorts or detached, it's a great time to bring them in and restate why we are here and what we are trying to do. Guitar players get inward and analytical about their playing, but when you start to get positive feedback from other players, it makes you think that it is coming together. The style of music that we're playing, this progressive metal style, has always been an upstream battle for us. We don't usually get a lot of commercial exposure. I'm from the school of putting a lot of hours of practice into playing. But at the same time you have to write original music. That's really important, because that's the things that's going to separate you from everybody else. That's going to give you your unique voice as a music that you create. I often think about my Music Man guitars being 100,000,000% tailored to my needs as a player and how lucky I am. Songs come alive every night and can be a new experience for someone. You might have someone in the audience who has never seen us before and hearing it for the first time. We are aware of that. Stay focused when you're playing alive, so you're not distracted by something going on. I really rely a lot more on memory. I'm definitely not as good of a sight reader. I'm realizing this more and more, that it's one thing to get involved with your own political beliefs and stand behind you believe in personally. I remember feeling for the first time going somewhere where I was part of a community where I didn't feel like an outcast. I felt like I belonged. Everyone had a guitar strapped to their back. It's a balance between getting the right string gauge that's thick enough where it sounds good, and not rubber bands, but not too thick where your hands start to get real tired. Out of Berkeley Dream Theater was born, and we've been together ever since. I didn't have to taste that feeling of defeat. Even with Dream Theater, we track in a big studio and everything. But when it comes to doing leads, I don't really require a lot of studio to do that. I need a good sounding room and a Pro Tools rig, and some Neve mic press, and I'm good. My main objective with a home studio, I could get into doing full band demos, but my first objective is to cut things like guitar tracks and solos at home. I've been fortunate to work with companies that I endorse because I love their gear. Whether Music Man, Dunlop, or DiMarzio, to me these companies have supported me in such a way that's invaluable. When we make those guitars, we make tons of prototypes. I have all those. And once a guitar has come out, there's all different versions and colors and woods, and I have all those. There's hundreds of them. I wanna go in the studio and just go back to the same amps and stuff I'm so comfortable with the sound of, which I think is important to stay original. I experimented a bunch with Ernie Ball in getting the strings to not flop around too much. but at the same time not to be too thick to where you're playing telephone cables. I've always said that there's a huge progressive rock, progressive metal audience out there in the world. I almost rely on other people to say, "Hey, you ever hear of this band?" And I'll say, "Oh, I've never heard of that." And I listened to them and thought, what the hell? Almost 15 with music, we have so many guitars that we developed over the years. The latest one is the Majesty guitar, which I'm really proud of. I went straight out of high school, and when I was 17, all I wanted to do was play guitar. You're about to walk on stage and play together for the next few hours, so you want to feel connected and make sure that everyone is in the same headspace, a good headspace. It's hard to answer that from my own perspective because when I'm playing I know where it is coming from and the sources. Real thick strings, your hands start to get fatigued. As much as you practice, and as much experience as you have, and as long as you've been playing, there is a fatigue point during the show, as with anything that's physical. So I wanted to basically pace myself better. Songs come alive every night and can be a new experience for someone. You might have someone in the audience who has never seen us before and hearing it for the first time. We are aware of that. I have a lot of guitars. Yeah, I'm not like a guitar collector. I don't have all vintage instruments. I don't even own a Strat or Les Paul. I don't have one. Many times we talk about the people that have come to enjoy the show. They went through a lot to get here, whatever they needed to work out in their lives. They got babysitters, they traveled, and purchased the tickets. So it's up to us to deliver the goods. We've seen progressive rock all over the world, in South America, Europe, Asia, across the US and North America and Australia. There's huge audiences for this stuff. For me it's always been there and it's just a matter of time before the people have more of the means to spread the word. We're not the kind of band who writes an order abundance of songs and picks from them, we usually write for the album. I know we play a part in the story of progressive music, but for us those influences are the real fathers, the ones that we were interested in.